Woo! What's up, Holden? Happy Friday, brother.
Hey. What's up, bro?
Dude, not much, man. You know, just another day living the dream. Got the golf polo on. Life can't be too bad.
Let's go, baby.
But
Love
let's
it.
go ahead and get started. We got a lot to talk about, you know. Welcome to Partially Biased. My name's Sean, and I like the Bills.
My name's Holden. I like the Washington football team.
And this is partially biased.
Partially biased.
Yeah,
it's partially biased.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Partially biased. The NFL talk show, that's biased. Partially. All right, so let's go ahead and get started off. We had a doozy of a game last night. Holden, what do you think of that one?
Dude, anybody who missed that game missed out on one of the games of the year, bro. What a good game, dude.
Right until the very, very end.
Last second, dude. No, we kind of knew that was going to be kind of a boring game, I guess you could say. Christian McCaffrey going out early was not ideal for NFL watchers in general because, you know, he's one of the faces of the NFL, you could say, at running back for sure. And he was hurt last year. We were hoping he would come back this year. Yeah, I mean, and it stinks that he got hurt kind of early. So
yeah, especially.
What are you gonna do, man? He's getting to the point where he's injury prone.
I guess so. I mean, I guess there's a narrative with him.
The sports books ate money last night with all the prop bets people took on him, whether it was to score 2 touchdowns, to score at all, over-unders on over receiving, over rushing. I mean, I'm sure people were just hammering and McCaffrey bets on that.
I feel it's just like we thought it might have been a good game if we had, you know, Tyrod Taylor not being injured. You know, but as soon as that injury came on, it's like, oh, we got this Mills kid, not very good. Like this was a team that before the season, I think you and me and everyone we talked to, they were like, this Texans team and this Jags team, they will probably be the 2 worst teams in football, just on paper, roster wise, whatever. And Texans surprised a few people first 2 weeks, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, they were very competitive, definitely competitive against the Browns. And then Tyrod going out hurts, but very more competitive than I think people thought coming out first couple of weeks. So
completely agree. I mean, kind of changed the narrative for me. But let me tell you, anyone who bet the Texans spread, an absolute idiot, a sucker. This was one of those games that you just for the spread, the money line, you couldn't overthink it. You couldn't, you know.
No. I mean, I took him at minus 13.5 on an alternate spread just because I was like, this will eventually get out of hand. Like eventually. It took a little time for it to.
About a half.
But there was no way that this that was gonna happen, dude. So
no,
there's no way they were gonna win that game.
That's what me and you have been talking about it all week. We're like, this is the game to hammer, this is the one. Like that's just Carolina's defense too good. Texans with a brand new quarterback under center and no real talent anywhere else. Like don't overthink it. Just lay the money. And
I took go ahead.
Just on a side note, I mean, Holden, I texted you this last night before bed. I realized it. We're getting close to being the kings of Thursday night football. We are 3-0. We are undefeated for Thursday night picks.
Dude, if we could sweep Thursday night football, I mean, I feel like when I go back and I'll listen to some of the stuff that we've called, like I feel like we'll have to go back and do records and stuff. Like one day we'll have to listen through it and go, but if we could sweep Thursday nights the whole year, how sweet would that be? Oh, dude,
sweeping a prime time game, technically, you know?
Dude, next week we got a big one in the Bengals Jaguars, bro. We got to start thinking of
the battle of the big cats.
Who comes up with these Thursday night games, bro?
Dude, I don't know. I think technically a few years back the NFL made it like that every team gets one prime time game, and that could be Sunday night, Monday night, or Thursday night, you know. I think Thursday night typically historically is one of those games like we need to give them a prime time game. Just who are 2 BS teams we can just give it to. And but I think
that's why they gave it to us last week. That's why they gave it to us last week.
No, that was a great game. I mean, the NFC Beast every game is, it just means more
division. But see, that's the thing is like just make them all division games, like regardless of just make them division games, right? Just say like
scheduling and who knows what goes into all that. There is a formula, but there isn't. It's all in Roger Goodell's hands. That's who I'm going to blame it with today. But
that'll be a good game to watch. We'll cover that later though.
We will. But I'm just saying, like you got to ride the hot hand here. We're 3-0. I mean,
3-0, baby.
We called the Raiders.
Took Carolina. We did
Yeah.
call that Raiders on Monday night. No, wait, that was a Monday night game. We
Okay,
called
never mind.
Tampa
Maybe
Bay.
we're
Tampa
2-0.
Bay.
Oh yeah, we called
Tampa Bay. Tampa
Oh
Bay
yeah,
on against the Cowboys, and
Mhm.
then Washington snuck the Washington win in,
Oh,
and
yeah,
now
of course.
Carolina. Carolina, I did take in my Survivor League too, so I'm 3-0 in my Survivor League, which is pretty. You know, you got to survive in advance in those bad boys. So
at the same time, I think I texted you this last night, but I am an idiot and I forgot to bet Carolina last night. I had them in my parlays, in my teasers, but I forgot to bet the spread individually. So that was a huge L for me. If we can get some L's in the chat or whatever, that's just unfortunate. But let's go ahead and move it on here. All right. So let's talk about Sunday.
let's go. What you got, boy?
I don't know. What game has your eye this week? I think we both have our eyes on the same game. It's that Washington Buffalo game. Starting off hot. Us both being in the Mid-Atlantic. Finally, we get to watch both our teams on a national game, televised game. Fun fact, I believe the Bills are undefeated on Fox when the games are on Fox. Could be wrong.
Okay.
So that's something to think about.
I went back and looked at some history against the Bills, and
No,
it's not great.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah, I did. It's not great against the Bills. The overall series in the entire NFL is Bills 9 wins, Washington 6 wins. Obviously, one of Washington's biggest wins coming in a Super Bowl form. But you want to talk about the last
I got a stat for
20 years. The only time we beat you guys was back in 2015 when we had Kirk Cousins and Jordan Reed. That was
Tyrod Taylor. Rex Ryan.
Yeah, y'all had Tyrod Taylor, so this was completely different. However, when we played you guys 2 years ago, that was Dwayne Haskins' team, which is a completely different squad.
I agree.
I don't know.
I think this is a big test for both of us because this is the game that these are two playoff teams last year. Two division division winners. That's just it's a make or break, and we can both of us with losses against fairly good teams. So it's kind of a thing of okay, are they legit or are they not?
Right. Yeah.
And personally, I think this line's been moving a lot. It started off at 8.5, and now it's almost down to 7 in some books. I'm looking at it. ESPN has it at 7.5 right now. That's crazy.
That's wild. And I thought it was going to get closer to a 10.5 line. So obviously it's going down. People are putting some money on Washington, which is forcing the books to change the line and change it, add a couple points. So now I'm kind of scared because 7 points, they're basically saying this is going to be a touchdown game. I just don't know. I don't know what to expect. And I don't know if our defense is going to be able to stop Josh Allen and Diggs. And I'm not as worried about the running back situation, but I'm worried about Josh Allen on some keepers and just whatever it's going right down the middle and popping one of our linebackers, or he just takes it up a corner. We're going to have to find a way to contain him because that's going to be a rough, just like Daniel Jones ran all over us. Josh Allen could do the same ththing.
No, I'm not going to. We've talked about this week, but, after that game, we looked at Josh Allen, better athlete, definitely more design runs or whatever. The Bills are looking at that tape. But at the same time, Washington is looking at it as, we need to stop this because we're going to face an even better athlete this week. I think it comes down to a battle of defensive lines. If the Washington's front seven is able to put pressure on Josh, they can make some bad decisions, contain the run, I think they have a good shot. But on the other end, the Bills front seven is looking a lot better. Our pass rush is looking good. I think this past offseason we took a play out of the old Belichick, playbook. Past 2 years, we spent first round picks on defensive players, not offensive players. And I think so far it's paying off with the pressure we're getting on the quarterback with Greg Rousseau and other defensive linemen, and AJ Espinosa too, killing it. So if we get the Heineke, a guy who's not a top tier talent, has some experience, but not a ton, and I'm just saying, I think.
Oh, careful what you're saying about my boy who just signed an endorsement with Bud Light.
I was about to say, I think that's the whole reason that the line changed was because of Bud Light.
You're getting a little shaky on me. The Wi-Fi for some reason.
Wi-Fi is good on my end. Is it good on your end?
You good?
Nope. That's great. I love it.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Good?
Yeah, that's weird how that happened.
It's all right. Hey, we're kinks, baby. Working out the kinks,
I guess
baby. What happened?
nothing.
What happened?
What?
Did it cut off?
No, we're good. I see
Your
you. You hear
Wi-Fi?
me? No.
Okay, yeah. Okay. No, it got really like weird for a second. It was like cutting out and cutting in. All right.
No, same on my end a little bit. But I guess just a quick thing for our many viewers. For those of you that don't know, I'm filming at a brand new location today. I am in Washington D.C.'s National Press Club. It's in my building. Didn't feel like filming in the office today. My boss is back, so can't don't just have free reign in the office anymore. So gotta find out new logistics. So we're trying this out today. But yeah, but we're all good.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same spot. No, I can hear you a lot better now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it was just
Birds are
new
acting
location.
strange. Satellites,
Freaking
fiber
Wi-Fi,
optics,
bro.
who
It is what it
knows?
is.
But we were talking about the Bills in Washington a lot, but let's keep it going. So let's go ahead and see. We got Bears Browns.
Bears Browns, bro. Justin Fields making his first start officially, even though Matt Nagy said that he is going to go with Andy Dalton if he's healthy.
He's not healthy though.
That's what everybody says. If Justin Fields can come in here and show some really good tape and even get a win, that's not going to happen. So, yeah. But I do think the Browns are probably going to win that game.
At
I just think
-7,
the defense,
you like that spread?
I don't know if I like the spread per se. I think I might take the Bears to cover, but I definitely still think the Browns win. I could see it being a little bit closer than people think. I could see like Justin Fields making some mistakes against a pretty good Browns defense. He did come in and throw an interception.
Defense that hasn't really shown up too much though. I mean,
gave
up a bunch of points against the Chiefs. I mean, but those are the Chiefs. I mean, gave up a good amount of points against what was it, Cincinnati? I believe.
Yeah. Well, that game was it was 20-3, and then the final like 9 minutes of the game, like they let the Bengals get like 2 last-minute scores on there. So I don't know what was going on with that, but yeah.
Oh, see that now you say that, I'm thinking Browns, but it'll be interesting to see. I like that game a lot for Justin Fields. I mean, hopefully get some more fantasy production as someone who is a Montgomery and a Robinson fantasy owner, unfortunately.
See, that scares me as far as a Montgomery owner, because I think Fields is going to take a lot of those running. So? I think Fields is going to run. That's his style, bro. I think he's gonna run and have a lot of QB keepers on those, and everybody's going to hone in on Montgomery, and he's going to pull it and take it up the side. I mean, we'll see, but that's what I
almost
feel
think it
like
could be the opposite when you have two threats. I mean, I think it almost is the same ideology. If you have two stud wide receivers, how do you cover both? Oh, you have two viable runners. So, like, for all you know, Fields could be acting like he's going to pass it off, and like he actually does. On a time where he just pulled it down. So I think it opens up a little bit more running lanes, but we'll see. Moving on, Ravens Lions. I think this is Is this an easy game? Is this a tough game? I go back and forth because the Lions put up a good fight against the Pack last week.
Definitely first half. Heck yes. I'm leaning like they were one of my other teams that I was going to pick as a survivor in my survivor league. Mm-hmm. And the more I'm looking at it, I'm definitely picking the Ravens to win, but I almost feel like that 7.5 is kind of a weird line. And I'm trying not to overthink.
ESPN has 8.5 right now.
They have 8.5. Yeah. See, at that point, I'd probably take the Lions. I'd probably take the Lions.
Still a banged up defense for Baltimore. I mean, Lamar Jackson finding a way just to be a freak athlete last week.
Yeah. So I would pick the Lions to cover, but I would do and like that's a game that I'm probably going to put in a teaser. Like I'm probably going to tease the Ravens down to like 1.5 and just pick them and the Cardinals and tease those two down to like 1.5 and ride that pretty heavy.
I like that. I almost like the over here. I'm not really sure what it is. Let's see if we can pull it up right now. But the over is 49.5. So am I crazy to like that? I mean, the Lions defense let up a lot of points last week. A lot of points.
And they did. That's true. That's true.
I mean, 25. Offense, I thought we had a lot of overs this week. This past week. The over did screw you.
Yeah. The Lions scoring scares me a little bit, but
TJ Hawkinson, if Swift is healthy, I can't name another receiver for them really, but I mean, I feel like they got to pass a lot. I mean,
yeah, they're gonna be down, so they're gonna have to pass. So yeah, I could see I'm not really big on over unders so much this year for some reason.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know what it is.
Well, it's tough because
It
I think
just
like you and me have
depends.
said, like for certain teams, it's a no-brainer. Like the Chiefs, I'm going to take the over every week because I think it's going to hit
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the offense is just so electric. But for these other ones where it's like, okay, let's say Jared Goff isn't hitting, let's say Lamar's having an off day, and then like, okay, now I see this game being more, I don't know, 21-9 or something like that, and then it's
Right.
just nowhere near the over. So who
That's
knows
true.
here? All right. Colts, Titans.
Colts, Titans. I think I'm going to have to go Titans pretty heavily on this one.
Pretty heavily. 5.5 spread.
Pretty 5.5 spread. I mean, I think they win by. I don't know what's going on with Carson Wentz. I feel like I actually just got an update. Carson Wentz is practice today, leaving the door open, so he could possibly start. They're saying. I just got an update on my phone
Who
saying he could
sprains
possibly
both
start.
ankles? How is that possible?
Dude, I don't know.
I
He's
feel that's
just
almost like a
so
skateboarding injury. You know what I mean? Like you're
you
falling.
land, yeah, you land heavy on like both ankles or something. Like I don't. Well, you saw what he did, right? Like Aaron Donald's like ripping him one way, and he's trying to like stay alive and go down. It's just like he got both feet like wrapped up or something, and got like both feet jacked up. So I don't know. I think I would still pick the Titans.
I pick the Titans here
Yeah, I
too.
think I'd pick the Titans. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Titans, and I'll take the Titans to cover too.
Yeah, no, it's a great bet. Definitely got to add that to my bet list for Sunday. But here we go, big game, a lot of offenses. One Chargers Chiefs, another divisional game. You know,
Yeah.
KC favored by 1 score.
So it's a set. It's at 7.
7. Yep, at 7.
That's really tough because Herbert played them really tough. Both of the Chargers games have been close.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the Chiefs games have both been close. The Chiefs
know,
coming
right?
off a loss. The Chiefs coming off a loss is scary though. So I think the Chiefs
Especially
could win.
because last week that was the first time Patrick Mahomes has lost in the month of September yet so far in his entire professional career, isn't it? Right?
Wild.
Like,
Yeah,
so
that's wild.
does he lose back to back? I'm taking the Chiefs flat out. I think
I'm taking the Chiefs. I think the Chargers could cover though. Like I think that could be like a 3-point game. Like I think it could be really tight.
I don't know if you checked our fantasy chat last night, but we were debating with one of our friends in there, or I was, and he said the Chargers weren't that good. I think the Chargers are a good team, at least offensively. Defensively, I mean, still got Joey Bosa, Derwin James, Kenneth Murray at linebacker. And I think they're still a great offensive team. It can hang with a lot of people just because of that. So I love the over here. Anytime it's the Chiefs, it's at 56, like we saw what they've done the past 2 weeks.
56.
Yeah.
The over-under's at 56.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot because I mean they can score though. Like they put up, and the thing is, like the Chargers bit themselves, man. The Chargers could have scored more on us.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers could. I think
More
the Chargers
Dallas too.
More against Dallas. They got a touchdown taken away because of some penalties. Like they definitely could have scored more.
Mm-hmm.
I could have seen them scoring 24, 28 points both of those weeks, but yeah, I kind of do like that over. I may hop on there with you, bro.
I'm telling you, I mean, just this is one of these don't overthink it things. I think they've hit the over every single time so far. Like, so just ride it. I know it's a division game; those are always toss-ups. But I mean, yeah, I don't see how
ride
it
it.
Hit. There's just too
ride
much.
It until proven otherwise. Yeah.
No, exactly. All right, Saints Pats. This is a tough game for some people.
What was it at -3 Pats?
-3. Yep.
-3 Pats. I'll take the Pats and I'll take the -3.
I'm taking Saints here. I am a Patriots hater as a Bills fan. I think Mac Jones stinks. I think maybe later on in the year or next year with like a full offseason under his belt as a starter, this guy was not supposed to start. It was supposed to be Cam, and you're supposed to bring him on, and they had that whole debacle. So their defense is good. I don't see them putting up points. Granted, the Saints really not great against Carolina, although Carolina, solid defense, but I don't know. But I do think this is a statement game because I was talking with someone last night about the Patriots, and like I don't see them winning 9 games. I don't. I think this is a very mediocre team. We have yet to see any kind of production from these two big tight ends they signed in the offseason. Oh, it's going to be Gronk and Aaron Hernandez 2.0. I heard a lot of people say, like, oh, now New England has weapons. And I haven't seen a lot of it in the offense, especially against a very mediocre Miami team week 1.
Yeah, I am going to take the Patriots just because I'm big on I mean, you know this from a fantasy perspective. I'm huge on the Patriots defense. I just think they typically don't give up a lot of points. They just are, and that's always great for like when, you know, most of the time, anytime your defense allows 30 points, you're getting into the negatives when it hits fantasy. It's like that's -2 points or whatever. Patriots don't allow a lot of points, and I just don't know with everybody back, they're going to be able to
back, for sure.
Yeah, from COVID and opting out of the season and everything. And from what I saw with them last week, like I know it was the Jets, I get it, but even against the Dolphins, like I know they lost that game, but it was 17 points. That's not a ton of points in the NFL either. I do worry about their struggles in scoring a little bit, but I think the more Mac Jones gets into this offense, the more comfortable he's going to get. And just wait for one of those games where he does actually throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like that's going to come soon. He hasn't had it yet. It's going to, I mean, I don't know if it'll be this week, but it's going to come soon. He's going to have one of those days where he's like, he breaks through, because he hasn't really done anything to necessarily like lose, you know, well, I guess he did week 1, but I was going to say like, he hasn't really played like terribly. He just hasn't done anything. He's just been, Bill Belichick's been keeping him very, he is.
It's very mediocre. I think this is a statement game for both teams. Right, this says a lot about the Saints. It's like they go back-to-back losses. They're bad losses.
Yeah,
but then the Patriots,
especially after what they did week 1. Especially after what they did week 1. So like that just means that was a fluke if they lose this game. So
I don't know. And Pats, you know, it's like if they can beat the Saints, then like maybe they can beat the Cowboys, maybe they can beat the Chargers. Like who knows? In my mind, at least. But let's keep it rolling. NFC game.
Rolling, baby.
This is another over game that I love. All right. Falcons Giants. Falcons G-men.
What's that over set at? What's the over under set at?
The over under. Well, let me tell you, New York is favored by 3 right now, and the over is 47.5.
Right.
So we're talking roughly 24 points apiece, and this is
I like that.
No defense on either of these teams, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. No, definitely. I like that too, actually, because Atlanta put up what, like 25, 28 last week, and
against the Bucs,
Giants put up 29. Team. Yeah.
Against Washington, it's like on paper.
And they were in that game too. The Falcons were in that game until the back-to-back pick sixes, but they had Matt Ryan can put up points. Daniel Jones is going to be able to run on them. I haven't seen Atlanta have much of a defense at all. I'd like the over there. I definitely like Atlanta though. I definitely like Atlanta to win that game though. Definitely like Atlanta to win.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I think I'm going to stay away from that. I think it could really go either way, but I'm just going to take the over. I'm just going to take the over there. Like that a lot. All right. So
who do you think's going to win? You got to pick somebody to win.
Oh shoot, you're right. You know what? Who'd you pick? Falcons?
I think Falcons are going to obviously cover and win. So I'm going to pick the Falcons to win.
I'm going to pick the Falcons too.
To cover +3.
I think it's too much offense. I think if they get out to a lead, New York's going to have a tough time keeping pace.
Yeah.
But if Saquon has a big day, we haven't seen the Saquon Barkley of old yet. So, I mean, and just quick side note, I mean, we're at week 3. So where you and me are kind of at the point where I think we're kind of honing in on what a team's identity is. Like there are some teams that you and I think we're just going to bet against every time. Like we're going to bet against the Jets and we're going to bet against the Jags and we're just going to ride it till the wheels fall off. Cause like that seems to make the most sense. And if we get burnt once or twice, so be it. Cause it's going to be more wins than losses. So I think we're kind of figuring out, I think this is the line. Like there are some teams that like, are they good? Are they not? We'll get into that later with pretenders or not with the undefeated teams. But here we go. Rolling into the next game. Bengals, Steelers. I don't know about you. We got a few Steelers listeners on here. I think I'm not going to make them too happy with what I think about it. But I'm going to let you go first. I'm going to tease that.
Dude, I'm going Steelers, bro. There's no way.
There's
just no way.
Okay.
There's just no way, dude. There's just
here's
no way.
my thing. That's what I
coming off a loss.
Too. I know.
Coming off a loss, dude. It's Tomlin, bro.
I've been thinking about this constantly. I might have been thinking about this more than Bills Washington, to be honest with you.
Hey, don't overthink it, bro.
I know you're right, but here's my thing. All right, Big Ben is injured. pectoral injury. Like, how is that pectoral going to affect his throwing motion? And this is already a Pittsburgh offense that has been very lackluster. And it's not just on him. Najee Harris, star running back, has had a tough time to seem to get started. And I don't know if this is the team where it really gets going. And like, to me, is that I think it's an offensive line issue. I don't think they can run block. And I think last week, don't get me wrong, like, this is not a paper league. This is the NFL. This is real football. But if you were to look on paper between the Raiders and the Steelers, you would have said Steelers are the better team, and they did not look like it.
Well, bottom line is, I don't think the Bengals can protect Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow still threw what, three interceptions last week. I don't know.
They've been putting up points though.
I think that, dude, after what I saw Steelers defense do to the Bills offense,
yeah, but Bills offense isn't the same this year either. They're slow. They're sluggish.
Yeah, but they could. They still got the weapons, and they still have Josh Allen. That's a top tier quarterback.
Let me ask you something. Okay.
Ask away.
Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is for our Pittsburgh fans as well. All right. When is the last time the Steelers won without Big Ben under center? When is the last time? Because he may not play, or he may get one big hit, and then that's it. And then who do you have coming in under center?
I guess it's good old Trashkins, but I'm trying to think too. Like, didn't they win
Josh
a game
Dobbs,
with
right?
I can't remember. Didn't they win a game with Ducky Hodges like a couple like 2 years ago? Maybe I can't remember.
Maybe I couldn't tell you. The only one that stands out in my mind is when they had, what was it, Brian Leftwich when we were in high school. The old 0-16 Lions starting quarterback against the Ravens, but. It's just like, I think if you were to, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think if you look at the stats of like when Big Ben is playing and when he is not, I think you will see it's extremely lopsided in losses. I could totally be wrong, but just off the top of my head, like if there's a game time decision, Big Ben doesn't play, I'm betting the Bengals. I think the Bengals offense is better. And, and also I know only TJ Watt's out, but this is, I think, was the preseason front runner for NFL defensive MVP. And if he's out, they still have a great defense, but I don't know. I got to see points. I do. Maybe that's new school of me, but I got to see points. All right, Cardinals, Jags.
Just going to take the Steelers to win. I'm going to take the Steelers to win, but I probably won't bet that game, to be honest. I'll probably just take player props and stuff, but I'm not going to bet it just because it's division games early. So
I would maybe take the under, honestly.
Yeah.
It's at 43, like I think the under is not a bad play.
That's low. That's pretty low.
I mean, that is low, but like if Big Ben's not in there, I mean, like I don't think the Steelers offense has put up, granted, only 2 games. I don't think they've even put up 40 points.
Yeah, no.
And once again, that's low, or like that's only 2 weeks. But I think I think Bengals have scored close to 50. And to me, that not quite. Well,
I guess you're right. No, you're right. Yeah, they put up like 27, but their first game was in overtime. It was like 27, and then this past week they put up like 17. So, yeah, I mean,
I think that 40. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. All right, real barn burner of a game. Cards, Jags.
I mean, you know where I'm at on this jet. Like it's Cards, bro.
Every week.
You don't even have to talk about it too much.
Don't even think about it. And we're not.
Cards, take them in a teaser. If you really want to, tease them down.
I'll take them at 7.5. I think they win by double digits. I think it's just too much. Just too much for sure. All right.
Jags are not going to be able to stop them.
No, definitely. All right. And then next up we got Jets Broncos.
Somebody in there?
Yeah.
Somebody just walk in on you?
Yeah, that's cool.
You said Jags.
Working through it,
Who'd you say?
It's all part of the show. Jets Broncos.
Jets Broncos. Yeah, Broncos. I'm not overthinking that.
This line actually moved. It was at -11 to start. Now we're at -10.5. Not that that's like a huge difference, but it's still a difference.
Yeah.
So
that's another one I throw in a teaser too. Tease them down. I love teasers this year. Just tease all these teams.
I got later on. I think I got the best teaser parlay you've ever heard. I know I already shared it with you, but we got to share it with the viewers.
Did you share it with me?
Yeah, I did. I shared it with you earlier this week. Well, I'm about to refresh your memory. I think.
Tell me, because if I like it, I'm.
I mean, it's a 6-7 teamer, but I think there's but alternate lines. I think has a really good shot.
Yeah, I did. I know it's.
But yeah, don't overthink it. Go with the Broncos. Broncos win. They win easy. Sorry about the Jets. They're just too banged up. No O-line, no defense, no real offense. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
But here we go. Big AFC matchup. Dolphins Raiders.
Raiders
Dolphins, only 3.5.
Raiders got to go with the Raiders playing pretty good now.
I think it's an easy pick.
I don't know if Tua's playing or not.
I don't think he is. They're saying fractured ribs.
I don't think it. So Jacoby Brissett in. Raiders playing good right now. They're peaking a little early, but you got to take the Raiders
for sure. But yeah. Oh, one quick thing I forgot about with the whole Steelers thing. With Big Ben banged up, this has me with some concerns because the season only gets longer and it only gets harder. And with the extra game, if he's injured already this early, I mean, I think if we're speaking of teams that peaked too early, I think that was last season. Pittsburgh, the first 3 quarters of the season, phenomenal. Not going to beat them.
Right.
But then I think maybe not necessarily. I think he kind of fell off a little. I think the season caught up with him, just the way we saw Philip Rivers doing well, and then he fell off. It's like this is a young man's game. And Tom Brady is a phenomenally, but like let's look at the 2004 draft class between Big Ben, Eli, and Rivers, and how many of them exited gracefully. None of them so far. And I don't want to speak that on Pittsburgh or on Big Ben because, as a Bills fan, I love the Lake Erie teams. I'll root for them when we're not playing them, because that's hard blue-collar country. But I wouldn't be surprised. It could get ugly quick, and I could be totally wrong, and I hope I am. But back to Raiders Dolphins. Raiders is such an easy pick. It's weird because I think Tua is overrated. I think they should have moved on. I almost kind of like this team better with Jacoby Brissett, but Raiders D-line, Max Crosby playing out of his mind. Like you said, they're hot. I think it depends a little with Carr, how his injury is, but I think the run game is so solid. I especially at 3.5. I think they win by a touchdown easy. But big game of the week, potentially our future NFC Championship game, Holden. Bucks Rams.
What you got? Oh, dude, yeah, obviously this game is going back and forth with me.
Big test for both teams.
I want to take the Rams, dude. Like I really do.
No, you don't.
I do.
Bro,
I want to take the Rams.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it.
I do. I want to take the Rams, dude.
I think
in LA.
Doesn't matter.
This could be
first
this
time
game
that Tom Brady is playing in LA, I believe.
This game opened at +1. It is now -1.5 Tampa in favor of Tampa. I just think the Rams and
I just think the Rams are going to teams, aren't they? In a way,
I just think Rams defense is going to be a lot tougher than.
They have the better secondary.
I'm just going Rams. I'm
going
Bucks.
Rams. I'm going Bucks. The Bucks are the hottest team in football. We're talking about how we're starting to see trends a little bit. I think it's the Bucks are up here and everyone else is almost a distant second. And I hate to say it. They are just so good on all 3 phases of football. Don't get me wrong, I think the Rams will give them a run for their money. I think if we're going to compare defensive lines, they're very similar. I think linebacking core, Bucks have the edge. Rams definitely have the edge in secondary, but I think the Bucks have a better running game too. I mean, the Rams haven't been able really to run the ball, and that's usually Sean McVay's special. I mean, Matt Stafford's been playing great, and then we're going to talk about weapons. I think they're about even until we get to the tight end position too, where Bucks have a clear lead, and just on depth, like Gronkowski, OJ Howard, and then Cameron Brate, the old wily vet, still on that team. Can you believe that guy's still playing ball? Until he's been on Tampa for 10 years.
Dude, don't put any disrespect on Tyler Higbee, bro.
He's not that good. He's good.
No,
he's an NFL starter.
He's not that good. But I will say, I don't know, man. Even you take tight end, I just still think Cooper. I mean, look at what Cooper Kupp did last freaking week. And then
that's true.
Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. I don't know. I'm not. It is going to be a tough one. That is like a coin flip game. But for some reason, I like the Rams. I like the Rams this week in LA. I think the crowd's going to get pumped. I think Matthew Stafford knows this is a statement win game for him if he can knock off 100%. Tom Brady. And I think Aaron Donald and the boys just get 10 times more juiced up for a game like this against Tom Brady. Dude, I could see Aaron Donald just giving freaking havoc to that O-line for Tampa.
I'm saying the same thing about Vita Vea. for the Bucks on
Yeah, he's
Rams O
good.
line.
They've got they've
I
got
think Bucks
some
got a
good.
better O line too. That's a whole name. We've been talking about these guys for a while. We'll come back to them because they're two undefeated teams. We're going to go through all the undefeated teams between, real or pretend, But
All
here we
right,
go.
all right.
Big NFC matchup, Hawks Vikings.
Hawks Vikings going. Hawks coming off a loss. I know that would put the Vikings at an 0-3 spot, which seems kind of wild for them because that's
Isn't
a
it?
team that's been pretty relevant recently.
And been in
But I
every
just think the
game.
Hawks, yeah, I just think the Hawks are going to be like, teams like that coming off a loss, especially a pretty tough loss in overtime when they could have had that thing won. And
Yeah,
then they let Derrick Henry get loose.
can't believe that.
I'm just going to take the Hawks. So.
I'm going to take the Hawks too, especially because I see Dalvin Cook is questionable, and I think the Vikings are just definitely a run-first football team. Anytime you have to rely on Kirk to win you a game, that's such a coin flip. Take the Hawks, better team, maybe even a better coach team. Just go with that. Stay in the NFC. Packers, Niners. I find it tough to. This may upset our 49ers fans here, but I find it tough to believe that 49ers are favored here. Is that crazy?
I'm with you. No, dude. I'm with you. I think this is another revenge game for Aaron Rodgers, dude. Like he's gonna Aaron Rodgers. They're gonna win this game.
They woke up the beast. He's out of hibernation. He's ready to roll. All phases of the game, running and passing. Who cares about defense? Aaron Rodgers is going to outscore you every which way. 49ers have won some tough games against some not so great opponents and haven't put up a ton of points playing good defense. And especially with Jimmy Garoppolo, I think that just limits them. Ton of injuries in the backfield. And we're going to go ahead and do a preview. We're going to talk about real or pretend for undefeated teams. I think this 49ers team is pretend. I think they are fakers.
I don't know if they're pretenders, but I do think just this week specifically, like it's going to be tough for them to beat. It is, yeah.
But with
I don't know if they're
Jimmy
pretenders.
G, I don't know. And we're not seeing a lot of production out of Kittle. The passing game isn't there. I think we need to see Lance at some point, but I mean, I think there's not really, from a coaching perspective, there's not really a need. If you're winning ball games, why not? But I love the Packers here. Let's go ahead and check out the over real quick because over under is 50. That's a tough one. I might be interested in that just in case 49ers backdoor the over a little.
Yeah. Well, that's a Sunday night. That's a Sunday night special. That's a Sunday night game. So that's going to be a
under the lights.
Yeah. Under the lights. Aaron Rodgers back to back under the lights. He's gonna show off, bro. They're gonna win that game.
I almost want to say it's don't overthink it. Like 3 points. This should be a game they win by a touchdown for sure. And then Monday night special. Another NFC beast game. Eagles, boys. Boys are favored by 3.5. What do you got?
I'm taking the Eagles because I want the Eagles to win. And I know that's a weird spot for me to be in because it's like you got two teams that are 1-1. I am all about, picking, who am I most afraid of? Truly, I am probably most afraid of the Cowboys.
You've been saying all week.
Having to play them.
A lot.
But I just think Jalen Hurts is going to get loose. And I think he's going to have a good day against this Dallas team who's been playing better defense, but I still don't fully trust their defense. I think Micah Parsons is probably going to spy Jalen Hurts, which should be a fun matchup to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure. Not Van Der Esch.
I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles to win and to cover, obviously. So
I'm going to go exact opposite with you. I think it's Dallas all day. I think Philly has no defense. Dallas doesn't have much of one either, but I think Trey Diggs at cornerback. I think Micah Parsons taking over for Lawrence injured, rushing the ball, being effective. I think that was a big part in them beating the Chargers game. Honestly, they shouldn't have won, But and I think maybe Dak has a little bit of a bounce back week offensively. So I'm taking Dallas, and you know what? I might be crazy enough to take the over because over's at 51.5.
You love these overs, bro.
The overs have been hidden. I swear, dude. It gets so much better. So okay, we're getting close to time, but I think real quick we run through real pretend for the undefeated teams. Then we go into our best bets, and then I'll see yous.
Okay. See you on Sunday, bro.
Yeah. All right. So first undefeated team, Cardinals. Real or fake?
Real.
The real deal. The real deal. Chandler Jones, Watt, Murray playing out of his mind. D-Hop. The
Yep.
other
They're
receivers
good.
looking good. That running back doesn't even do anything, but he doesn't need to. It's great. Love it. So real deal. Broncos.
Yeah.
Real thing.
So that one's tough for me because that one's really tough because they're in such a tough division. So I want to see them against division teams.
Exactly.
So it's like I think they are good, but I can't say they're the real deal yet because they haven't played any real deal yet. But I do think they have a really good defense. I'm gonna say real for now, just because they are 2-0, and I do like what I've seen from them as far as their defense goes. But that could change when they play a division game. The division, I'm gonna say real. I'm just gonna go with real.
I'm gonna say fake. I think they pretend. I think they're a good team, well coached, good guy under center, good defense that will keep them in games. But I think a Teddy Bridgewater led team is only limits you so much, and I think the run game isn't really there. So I'm going to say fake. I also think easy scheduling has played a huge benefit. I think we're going to really see them taper off towards the end of the year. Okay, and then Bucks Rams double header. They're both undefeated. Only one's walking away undefeated. We already talked about that. But are these teams real?
Just go on to the next one, bro.
I know. I think they're both real. I think
they're both real. We don't need to talk about it.
We don't. They're
both real.
Probably.
They're both real.
Very excited. Niners. I already gave my take. Said they're fake. How about you?
I think they're real, dude. I mean, like,
why?
Because, dude, that whole team, they're 2 years removed from a Super Bowl, and I know that's not like a crazy stat line. That's, I mean, I get there are a lot of teams that could be.
No Richard Sherman.
It's not a completely whole new team, dude. And then you take Josh Norman, who's essentially
wide receivers.
Okay, I get it. Well, they got Deebo Samuel at wide receiver. They still have George Kittle, who hasn't really gotten going yet. I know they've got a lot of injuries. I know they have a lot of injuries at running back right now, which is going to hurt. But I think Mitchell's playing this week. I think he's going to play, and he still put up points. He still was effective. I don't know how bad Trey Sermon's injury was. I know he got popped pretty bad in his short amount of playing time. But, I mean, I still think I think that's a team that I still am like, I am worried to play them. And I think that's where I take it.
When I think everyone should, well coached and deep, you know?
Well, that's when I look at teams like this, are you real or fake? Like, personally, when I look at it, am I scared to play this team? Yes, I am. So I'm going to say you're the real deal. If I'm scared to play you, then you're the real deal. So
I don't know if I am. I think looking at scheduling, I think that's a big part of it. I think they're almost kind of like the Broncos a little, you know, it's just like, I think scheduling has played a huge part, and we're going to find out in the next few weeks, but I think they're not the real deal. I think maybe Trey Lance under center a full season, then they're the real deal. But with Jimmy G, no. All right. So I'm going to get into my cannot lose, speaking that into existence, 5-team teaser.
All right.
And my cannot lose 16 parlay.
If you say this teaser to the public, it probably will. Well, I'm not going to jinx it. Whatever. You just say it. Just say it.
So we're already up to a good start. I took the Panthers. I teased it to -1.5. Cards -1.5. Washington,
Love that
Buffalo, over 40. Chargers, Chiefs,
like that,
over 50. Falcons, Giants, over 42.5.
I like that a lot.
You know, I forgot what the odds are.
I like that a lot
on this ticket, but I think it was like, I don't know, like 10 to win, like a few hundred. You know, I'll take that all day, or like 30 to 1 odds, something crazy like that. Yeah, isn't that like, it makes sense? All these are like very, like, I could see that.
I like that. Yeah, I'll probably do that too. I definitely like the Cards, Panthers, tease both of those. Or you can't take
you can't do that anymore.
Panthers.
You're too late. You're too late.
Can't do that anymore.
Just do the other 4. Do the other 4 out of the 5.
What was the other one that I liked though? Oh, it was the Ravens, Cardinals. Tease those two down to -1.5 or -1 or whatever. But yeah, all right. I like that whole.
Thank you. I spent a lot of time on this earlier this week, and this is great. All right, this is my 16 parlay with the alternate lines. Cards -7.5. Panthers, already got that. I actually teased that. I don't know. I actually alternated that to -6.5 spread. I almost wish I didn't now, but I wanted a sure thing. Bills -6.5. Broncos -9. Boys -4, and then Chargers Chiefs over 56. And that was like, I don't know, something crazy like 50 to 1. But yeah, what are yours? You got any good ones?
My best bet is that 2-team teaser. Like I'm gonna take that 2-team teaser. I'm gonna take Cardinals. I'm gonna take the Ravens, tease them down to -1.5, and that's going to be my yummy juicy teaser that I'm going to hit. And then I also like the under in the Saints Pats game. I think it's at 42. I don't know. You may be able to check it, but
so little points.
I like the. But dude, I don't see a ton of scoring that game.
True,
and I'm somebody who doesn't even love over. I'm somebody who doesn't even love over unders. But I saw like 42, and I was like, that's a lot for this kind of team. I could see this being like 17-10, 17-13.
That's true.
Something like that. Like,
very true.
I don't see too much scoring going on
in
that game.
I think you're right. You're right. 100% right. But there it is. All right. Well, there it is. Week 3 done in the books. There it is.
Week 3 in the books.
Yeah, man. Hope you won all your bets. So hope you're not too sad after the Bills win. So, if not, I'll be here for a shoulder.
I'm telling you right now, bro. I'm gonna send you a nice video of me chugging some Bud Light Seltzies after we get this nice upset. Put the world on notice.
Sure.
Heineke
drown
is
your
here.
Sorrows. Drown your
Heineke
sorrows.
is here, baby. No, I'm pretty much accepting a loss on this, hoping for a win. That way, I'm getting myself juiced up for Atlanta and 1-2.
I'll be disappointed if we lose.
Feeling good about it.
If we lose,
you should be disappointed. You should.
I'm gonna be shocked. I'm gonna be on watch. But yeah, hope you win all your bets, and we'll see you next week for another episode of Partially Biased.
Let's go, dude. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
This Wi-Fi has been so spotty, dude.
It has.
I'm a little nervous, but hey, you know what?
I know. I thought I could kind of tell that. I know. I thought I could kind of tell that during it. I was like, I felt like maybe you were a little off, and maybe that's why.
Yeah, there were a couple times where it happened. Maybe we'll have to redo this whole entire podcast tomorrow.
Potentially. I'm down if you are. Just kidding.
I'm down. Let's do it.
We'll figure it out. I'll figure out a better spot for next time, or we'll figure out a different time.
Yeah, sounds good, bro. No sweat.
Yeah, man. Well, talk to you later.
Go football team.
Go Bills. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.